gentlemen, do not adjust your radios. Do not adjust your computers. Do not adjust whatever you're listening to. Yes, it is the biggest show in the world. And I have the dream that my boy had his on with me. And what's up, SBTV?
Wow, Sports Bettors TV, Universe and Nation. What is going on, my God, what a night we had last night, Playboy. Oh, man, I hope everybody cashed out there with Pop getting his 1,000th victory last night, kid. Wow. Unbelievable game, dude.
You knock yourself out this morning. It was just one of those type of evenings, man. Like Jay-Z said, I had to call the paparazzi on myself.
Oh, wow, dude. Yo, man, I tell you, dude, I am so proud of you that you did not lay the 4.
No, I know.
What made you decide not to lay the 4 at the last minute, dude?
I was just like, you know what? I'm like, listen, you know, I said, I just was, because the amount of money I put a lot of money on the game, and whenever I go really deep with the money, it's like, yo, do not get involved with them points. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you would have got smoked, kid. Oh my God! I hope everybody listened and got the money line going with that, or you went -1 on it, which.
I made a mistake. Listen, I'm on it right. This is the stupidest thing. I did do some stupid stuff yesterday while I was doing it though. I went in and originally I was gonna buy it down to I think it was 2. All right, and 2 was minus 175, but. As I'm putting in the player, getting the plays ready, of course I'm getting DMs, I'm getting texts, the kids are running around, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, I think I even hit you up to talk about how, in general, because generally, before you buy points, it's better usually to just money line it. And me and you had discussed that. But I think I was going back and forth with you telling you that 5 dimes does a pretty good, not to mention whatever. They do a pretty good job of distributing the money as far as the points are concerned when you buy. So some of the books, if you buy 2 points, if you buy it down to 2, it's cheaper just to go in with the money line, or even 3 in some cases. But with this particular one, they have the money distributed right, so you can make a couple extra bucks at it. Well, in the middle of doing all that, for some reason, I ended up going from 2 to 1, and I forget what the money line number was. So I'm just assuming, because like I said, I had just told you that, the distribution was right. Because remember I hit you with that text?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes,
yep.
So I go in and I play it. Then right after I play it, I go back and look, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? It's $10 off. And I'm like, So it was just stupid on my part. But I got a little bit sidetracked. No big deal, because it's all about the winning, and that's what we got done. I DM'd a lot of people to play, and I hope a lot of people got down. You guys, in general, when I put in a big play, it is usually a money line. But like I said last night, I was trying to be a little bit on the greedy side and thought that it was better to buy it down, and in this case, it was not.
Oh, I know. You know what? But all I got to say, man, I mean, this song puts a smile on my face, man. It just gets my positive energy going, guys. Listen, you know what? I just want to thank the entire SBTV Nation for standing up, man, and just, supporting us and doing what they do and do every single day, guys. We love you to death. Good morning from the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV. Big shout out to the hashtag Fake Fam as well, guys. You all know who you are. We love you to death. Thank you very much for everything that you did and do for us, and we appreciate it, man. So, hey, Dream, you know what? All I got to say, dude, is, I money-lined the Spurs and the Dukies. The Spurs were down 14 points going into the fourth quarter, dude. I thought we were dead.
And what did your boy tell you when you
You told me that they were going to win the game. At that point, I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Are you crazy? What are you smoking, dude? You know what I mean? And
I'd have thought I was in that. I'd have thought I was in the lab smoking something. Fat. Thought I had the pipe in my hand. But I was with I was downstairs and I was watching the game, and it was one of those things where when you watch a team enough, you kind of get when you watch sports enough, you get a feel for something. And my feel at that game, I got to be honest with you, I'm usually I can usually get a good feel for a game, especially right out of the gate. my feel for that game was they were never really in peril. And that Indiana team, you know, when they caught that lead, when they caught the lead that they did, you know, they got a couple of fouls in there that were a couple of, you know, shaky calls. And you could just see that San Antonio was like, they were like never really shook. You know what I'm saying? They never really panicked. I mean, which they don't do anyway, but they just had this calm about them. And I'm like, yo, dude, relax, watch. And you know what it helped, to be honest with you? I had just won the night before with the Bulls almost the same exact way. That's why I was laughing, because somebody's like, yo, you got lucky. I was like, dude, luck ain't the word, because I did it 2 nights back to back. The Bulls won the same exact way the night before on Sunday night, so I was like, yo, whatever, I got it. Guys, the luck is probably done, though. I'm just letting everybody know that your boy probably won't win another game
Tread
for 2
lightly
weeks.
now, man, because this has been like a monumental streak here. We got to kind of slow.
I'm dope, but I'm not that dope.
No, I don't. Dude, you be on a yacht called the Dream. If your stuff was like this all the time, you know what I'm saying?
My stuff was like this all the time. But I gotta be honest with you, man. Yo, my NBA, the other sports are I'm doing way better in the other sports than with football, and I almost want to cry.
Wow, really? Really? Unbelievable.
I mean, dude, the hockey and the basketball, honestly, it's been way better than the football. I mean, way better.
That's amazing, bro. That's just amazing. But you know what? Hey, whatever. You know what? We'll take the money and we'll run with it, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tread very lightly, guys. I'm gonna tell you because, you know, I want you guys to understand how I've been doing it, okay? And how the difference between what I do now and what I've done in the past, okay? You know, you guys remember, I had like 9 out of 10 days where I got smoked. And you know what? What I've been doing over the last few days, I resorted back to moneyline parlays, back to what I usually do, just being careful, you know, betting smarter, not harder, 1 unit at a time, 2 units, 1 unit, 1.5 units, stuff like that. And just in that absolutely god-awful skid where I would have lost probably $10,000 to $20,000 back a few years ago, I didn't lose that much money. And what I did was I've been grinding slowly back. So I got almost about 70% of that money back that I lost in that horrible skid there, dude. So you know what? You just gotta inch back, and you can't get, you know, you can't be all over the chase and the sweats and all that. You just got to go a little bit at a time, man. So I plan on, by the weekend, getting myself back to normal and, you know, doing the same kind of grind system and getting back together, man. Definitely.
No doubt. Hey, big ups to Cole Smith, Jason Riley, Ben's mom, CK Nagayan, Dan Keebler, Total Sports Edge, LVCC, Moonshine Money, Jay Rich, Buster Carr, Sir Modest, Clownman Swag, Nicholas J, J-Cast, Peeper, Prez, and Ben. Also, big ups to my boy Papa Smurf. What's up? What's going on out there, brother? Buster Carr, Ben Diaz, Sergio Rodriguez, and the Hockey Immortal. Good morning to you, players.
Yes, man. We got, dude, I put out a tweet today. I said, I don't even know where to begin with the shout-outs, man, because it is just absolute madness. It was absolute madness last night, the SBTV Nation. I got Jay Hova out there. I've got C. Rodriguez Jr. I've got Meet Your Maker. I've got Jason Riley. I got Robert. I got the entire fake fam. Crush the Bookie, Cousin Pete. First Lady of the Fake Fam, Hingle McCringleberry, Jake Herberts, I've got Eddie E, Shady K, Frank Vincolato, Clownman Swag, congratulations last night, brother. Sliced Bread, I got Danny Boy, I got Ben, the top tennis capper, I got Cole Smith, Jason Riley, a lot of people going on here, my God, Dream.
Marco Spagnola as well as out there. Hey, guys, we love you guys. We love all the support. We thank you all for the support and all the listening. And hopefully we are helping you become better gamblers, as that is our goal here at
more
SBTV.
Controlled as well. More controlled. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, we're just sharing the experience of getting smoked over 20 years and finally starting to turn it around. So, you know what? If you could start being one of these young bucks out there with, someone kicking you a little bit of mistakes and telling you not to do that, hey, you know what? Maybe you won't be down however much I'm down over my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt, definitely. If we could save anybody, that's the method in our madness.
Yes.
To go over the NBA scores real quick, we had the Wizards over the Magic 96-80. The Spurs beat the Indiana Pacers 95-93. Warriors 89 over the Sixers 84. The Knicks lost to the Heat 109-95. The Jazz over the Pelicans 100-96. The Bucks beat the Nets 103-97. The Hawks over the Timberwolves 117-105. And the Clippers over the Mavericks 115-98. Thunder beat the Nuggets 124-114 as well. Over on the NHL side, we had the Oilers 2-1 over the Devils. Kings beat the Blue Jackets 4-3. The Wild beat the Canucks 5-3. Blackhawks go down to the Coyotes in that Phoenix team. I tell you right now, they are pesky as hell.
Oh, don't mess with them, dude. Don't bet against Arizona.
Blackhawks 3-2 in a shootout, and the Flames beat the Sharks 4-1. Over in the college basketball tip, we had excuse me 1 second. Here we go. We had Duke over Florida State 73-70.
Stomach ache.
A little bit of a stomach ache.
Dude, listen to this. I had the Spurs down 2 and Duke up 3. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, dude, you never win both of those. One of those always gets you beat up, and I just could not believe it. It was, it was the gambling gods looking down on me and saying, hey, you know what, brother? Stop losing.
You know what it is, too, man? I always equivalent those parlays and teasers to that sheet on the bed where you get the corner sheet where you get, like, all 3 corners on. Yep. You go to put the 4th on, and the other side flips up on the bed on you. Hard to get it all down, but, hey, Duke managed to get that win 73-70. We had Baylor lose to Oklahoma State 74-65. That's a bad loss by Baylor right there. And that Oklahoma State team, I had to tell you something. They're not that good. Baylor just, Baylor had that game, and I'm going to blame Baylor's coach for losing that game, honestly. Don't get me wrong. Oklahoma State, they shot the lights out at the 3-point line. That I will give them credit for. But Baylor, it's like they just panicked, man. I watched a lot of the second half of that game. It was like they really panicked, came right out of their element, came right out of their defense, stopped throwing the ball down in the post to, I think my man's name was Gathers. And, I mean, they just blew that. They blew that game for no reason. And I blame that loss on the coach. I really do. My Oklahoma team came through 94-83. You guys know I've been watching this Oklahoma team, and they are something special.
You called them. You were saying that yesterday, brother. And you know what? They were down a lot of that game. I stopped watching it after a while. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have any money on it.
Something, dude.
They are. I get it. Dude, 94 points, a lot of points.
Yeah, no doubt. They are something. I've been watching them. They are going to make a lot of noise in this tournament coming up. I see they finally moved to 17. But I'm telling you, this Oklahoma team, they should be ranked a lot higher. I can name a lot of teams in that top 15 that they're better than. But they're up and coming. Actually, we like them being, we like them not getting any attention made to them.
Yeah, right. Let the future pay. Let the future pay crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
them and the Ohio State University. I got my eye on.
No doubt, definitely. Virginia Tech over Georgia Tech, 65-63. That was also a pretty good game. If you guys caught some of that on the late night tip, Alabama State beat Mississippi Valley State, and that was 65-57. We also had Alcorn State over Grambling 91-77. The rest of this is a bunch of. Oh, here's one that you probably did. Houston Baptist 77 to Texas A&M 66.
I wonder if Dan was on that one.
Dr. Dizzle was on that one. So that's about it for your scores, gang. And hey, let's get right into this morning and see what's up.
Well, let me just tell you something, Dream. I got a really, really big guest coming on today. His name is Doug Upstone. He's been in the business a long time. He's going to come on. It's his first appearance on the show. I've talked to this guy outside of the show, on the phone. Amazing personality. He's got killer knowledge, and he's been, like I said, he's been doing it forever. So he's going to be calling at 9:30, and we're going to be kicking the knowledge with him, man. I'm very excited to get him on. I've been trying to get him on for a while, and finally got him here, dude. So very excited about that. So let's, what do we want to do here? Why don't we start with NBA, because I know Mr. Upstone wants to talk a little college hoops. So why don't we change it up a little bit and start with the NBAs? So taking a look at this, it looks like there's not a whole bunch of games here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, big ups to Betting Dream yesterday as well. He tore it up. He was talking about everything that hit. He was saying that the Indiana Pacers, he did have them on a money line, but I think he also had them plus the points, so he cashed on that. And he was talking about some other teams too. He was talking about the Bucks. He was talking about the Jazz. Hey, big ups to him for that.
Yeah,
but,
yes, no doubt. And me and him, we kicked it a little bit after the show. Me and him went back and forth with a little DM, and man, real good dude. I love him. A lot of his information is stellar. I loved his personality, his attitude. Very upbeat. You guys heard, when I'm not quiet during an interview, either the vibe is just so that for me to talk, or I'm trying to help the guest out a little bit. You know what I mean? And with this dude, he came in and he was all on fire, just hyped, and the way we love it with the energy. Brought this team. There was no need for me to get involved. Just listen to his stuff, and I really loved it. I mean, he was dope, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already seeing a game that I like that, but I'm going to have to pair this with a bunch of teams to make it worth any kind of money here.
Let me hear this, because I don't see nothing I like.
Well, all right. Well, first of all, you got exactly.
Okay.
Love that Grizzlies team.
Right.
First of all, you got the Detroit Pistons at the Charlotte Hornets. The opening lines are anywhere from 2 to 2.5, and the under-over is 192 to 192.5. Guys, I'm reading these from SportsBettersTV.com. As you know, Detroit surprised me with their last loss, brother. I forgot who came into their building and just beat them, but it was pretty sad.
Pistons and the Hornets, that's just about, happy to be an NBA player and have money in the bank type of game they got going on right there. Happy with all the accolades that comes along with that. I'm a professional basketball player, and I'm just, doing my thing here with this squad.
And I got mad women around me.
To just back up off of that, leave that alone, and let them do their thing, because who knows what's going to happen there.
They had Minnesota come in and smack it down in their building, dude. So,
yeah.
You know what? And this Charlotte team is not that bad. So, you know what? Charlotte has actually been pretty good. I mean, they've 12-5 in the last 17 games, man. So,
well, Detroit is still suffering. They got the major loss to their point guard. I want to say it was Jennings. Sorry if I got it wrong.
Brandon Jennings.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they had that. Things haven't been right for them since he went down. And unfortunately, that's part of sports, man. You got to be able. The guys got to be around them. Got to be able to pick it up and pick up the pace and just keep the shit moving. So maybe they're just working on some scenarios to try to get it right. I mean, they were not. I mean, they were winning some games, but they were still Detroit.
Yeah, I had my eye on them, dude. They were, because they paid crazy, and they looked like they were going to sneak into the playoffs somehow. An 8th seed, 7th seed, something like that, and then boom. They had that big injury, and that what happened. But big ups to Papa Smurf for continuing his winning ways as well. As a matter of fact, let me tell you guys something. All right, this is what the nation is all about. My boy Tav hits me up, and he says, "Hey, thank you for everybody that contributed to this." He had myself. He had the Evil Genius. He had, let's see, who else did he have? He had, he had First Lady of the NHL, Papa Smurf, The Dream, and Hatter, and he put a money line parlay together that cashed. So, you know what? Big ups to him.
When you had hit the Evil Genius, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. But, hey. Oh, my God. Funny.
I was like, hold up, boy.
No doubt.
Let me stop. That's my boy, the Evil Genius.
I can't, you know what the Evil Genius is going to do? He's going to come in and smack it down on baseball. That's what he's going to do.
No doubt. That's my thing with the genius.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Everything else, though, he's...
Yeah, I wish the baseball would come for him faster, man.
Everything else, he's special ed.
Here's another nasty...
Hey, he gets on the little bus from September to May. He rides a little bus to school.
Yeah, and then he gets on the luxury suite bus for baseball. Like, yo, you need some green M&Ms, sir? What do you need? All right,
We're gonna get him a special account with the offshore that locks his stuff up at the end of the World Series. His account just gets locked up and all his bets are just play.
We got the Sacramento. Go ahead.
Hey, and then in May, right, when he goes into his account, it'll just be blown up again. He'll be like, where'd all that come from? Oh, all the bets that you just made over the last 4 months didn't count, thanks to the Dream and your boy Hatter.
That's an SBTV life jacket right there, Playboy. Oh, wow. Hey, big ups to Buster Carr. What's going on, man? Salute to you as well, my friend. We got the Sacramento Kings coming into the Chicago Bulls. I hate this Bulls team. Bulls are -9, under over 200.5, pretty much all across the board. You know what? You can't pay me to take the Bulls these days. I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen. Especially,
you can't pay me, but you could pay me to take them today, as the Sacramento Kings are absolutely lousy. They caught a little win their last game. They won their last game. I believe it was against the Suns. They beat the Suns last minute. I believe I played the total on that game. That was the Sunday night game I played the under on. The Bulls, they are due a major win. So I expected them to get that on Sunday, and they didn't. As far as, covering the spread, just like, a little bit of a blowout win.
You know what? Dude, I can't let you give that out.
I'm sorry. Listen, it is what it is. All teams eventually, same thing with the Toronto Maple Leafs a week ago. All teams eventually have to win, no matter how bad they are. They are going to win, and they are going to cover their spreads. And this is a spot for the Bulls, to really show up. They got a momentum win their last win out there. Even though they should have beat Magic and covered, but they came back from being down, managed to get a little bit of momentum and win it. And I got to be honest with you, guys, take it with a grain of salt, take it however you want it. The Bulls are going to beat Sacramento tonight. You know what? To be safe, don't take the spread. Get it down to a money line or something. But the Bulls should win that game.
You know what? They may win the game, but you know what? That's one team that has a stigma on them for me. So I'm good with them, dude. I get real biased real fast, dude.
Nah, I'm the same way. Don't
you know
get
what
me
I mean?
wrong. I'm the same way. That's why I won't mess with that Phoenix team. And I never almost ever play the Knicks because I'm the same way with them. Knicks and Brooklyn, I'm kind of the same way too. But you know what? The Bulls, they're gonna win. They win in that game tonight. They are winning that game.
We'll see what happens. All right. Next one we got is Houston at Phoenix. Phoenix is -1.5 to 2 points, under over 214.5 to 215. Seems like it's a matchup in the West. That's why the total is so high. But again, dude, I don't see anything that I'm liking in this game. What about you?
Nah, I don't. I can't. I can't. I figured out the Suns, but I really don't know what Houston's all about. Houston does play well on the road, though, which is interesting. So I don't have a feel for this game. I really don't like it, so I can't give you anything on this one.
Yeah, let me just take a look real quick at a quick preview of this, guys, so you know what we're talking about here. Houston is 35-16, 6-2 straight up in the last 8 games. Phoenix is 29-24, but 3-7 against the spread in the last 10 games, and 1-4 straight up in the last 5. I think there's way better places to put your money than this game. I got to be honest with you. Let me see here. Marlon's telling me that it's time for the Kings to come on and tell him to take the Bulls. Wow, I don't know, Marlon. You know what? I got better places for my money than that. We got Brooklyn coming into the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what? I love this Grizzlies team. I really do, Dream. Yep. And I think they should win the game. But Brooklyn can be pesky at times.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I could see this. I could either see the Memphis Grizzlies, smack it down on them, or being like a real tight game to the finish. You know what I mean? I just, God. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to be getting involved in any NBAs. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I would have definitely taken, maybe I'll end up doing them later, guys. I'll do a lot more homework to try to see this. I mean, Memphis, I think, is one of the best teams in the NBA. I really do, and I mean that. But looking at this, just Brooklyn scares me a little bit. What do you think?
I agree with you. Brooklyn's best, and you don't know what you're going to get with them on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
But I do think that they lose this game.
Yeah, and you're saying lose, but not lose by the spread. You know what I mean? It's 12.5 there. It's a lot. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know I don't tell no 12.5 spread. I don't gotta tell nobody that. You know I ain't taking no 12.5 spread. Come on,
player. I know. You got Denver. Last one. So there's only a 5-pack of games tonight, guys. You got Denver,
12.5 spread.
Denver, and the LA Lake Show, and you got Lake Show is favored for once, kid, giving 2 to 2.5 points in their building. So Lake Show is home, giving 2 and 2.5 to Denver. Under over 202. Oh man, what a tough slate here, huh?
Lake Show needs a win worse than ever. That under/over is 202, though, huh?
It's 202, baby.
I tell you, this reminds me of the other night with that Sacramento Suns game. That's a lot of points for two lousy teams, barring them going into overtime. That's a lot of points. 202 is a heavy number to, as I've been playing these totals a lot in NBA, especially with the second halves, I usually deal with the 100 mark, and it's very difficult, even for some of the better offenses, to get there. You talk about these two teams with putrid offenses. That 202 is a heavy number. I don't know. Guys, I may hit you guys back a little later with something on that. Lakers are due, by the way, to win a game as well, and to win a game at home. This could be their spot to catch a win. I know some of you guys are up like that Denver team, but traveling to LA and getting out there with the LA, system and the people out there and all that can be a bit much for a team. So I might hit you guys up later. It's a late night game. You guys know I like to hang around with them late nights a little bit. So I might be on at least for the second half. I don't know about a total yet. I don't really love this, but as a first lean, I got to be honest with you. That 202 is a heavy number for two bad teams. And some of you guys think, they're bad, so they're going to score a lot because there's no defense. But they're bad, and their scoring is bad. They score in spurts. They'll go off and break off a quick, back and forth for quick 20 points, but then they'll just be dead for the next 5 minutes too. So that's why I tend to like anything with that over 200 with two bad teams is usually money. But we'll look at it. I'll get back to you later, and I'll tell you, what I got if I have anything later. But right now, that's a small lean this morning.
All right. Well, I got to tell you that, the number I think is right on the money. I'm looking at it.
No, you're good with thinking your numbers are right on the money.
Yeah, no, because both teams are scoring about 100 points apiece, and their defenses are letting up 104 for Denver and 106 for Lake Show. So that's why that number is where it is, bro.
Yeah, no, I got you. But if you look at those numbers again, if you would have looked at them Sunday night against the Spurs and against the Suns in Sacramento, you would have saw the same thing. Some of that's predicated off of some of the other offenses that they've played. They've established some of those numbers. That's why I say you got to get out of them stats sometimes because they can be a little bit misleading.
All right. Hey, you know what, man? I'll be watching you on that. That's about it.
But hey, it's an early morning lean right out of the gate, just like the Sacramento Suns was. So I'm not plugging it yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let me see if I can get my caller in today. Good morning. Do I got someone calling the biggest show in the world this morning?
This is Doug Upstone.
Yo, Doug, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys today?
Oh, we're fantastic.
What's happening, Playboy? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. Hey, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona right now. You saw the Super Bowl. You saw the crummy weather we had for like 4 days. Yep. And like 2 days after the Super Bowl left, it's been 80 degrees every day since. So it's been fantastic.
Oh, we saw the crummy weather and the crummy play call.
Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Oh, my God. My God. This is my man, Doug Upstone. We've been going back and forth. I'm so happy to have met you. You and I met on Facebook, just going back and forth a little bit. Doug, this is the first time you're on the show. Why don't you explain to the listeners and our audience who you are, what you do, how long you've been in the game, and all that good stuff?
Sure, yeah. So obviously the name is Doug Upstone once again, and it's I'm at VegasProInsidersDaily.com, and I know it's too long, but I like the name, so I went with it. So that's exactly what it is. So VegasProInsiders.com, and I've been actually in the business in some way or another for quite a while. I started out Actually, back in the late 80s, there was a magazine that's actually still around called Game Plan, and I started doing power ratings because they had them in there, and that was really my first interest. Was starting to go into that area. And it's just things kind of matriculated as I went along. I was actually in the golf business for quite a while as well, and then an opportunity came up with StatFox, which I would assume some of the listeners would be familiar with, and had an opportunity. Those guys are out of Wisconsin. I was living there at the time, and had an opportunity to work with them. And so I started doing some writing for them, and things have just kind of grown from there. Worked for a variety of different outlets. Rant Sports, Sportsbook Review, New York Post, Playbook, covers. I've done writing for all of those. And also from the handicapping standpoint, been at a number of different places, monitored picks, have done that. And, so it's just been one of those things, just kind of an evolution of things as I've gone along. And my interests are actually starting to even change a little bit, going into more of the fantasy side, especially the daily fantasy side.
Awesome. The resume is stacked. I love it. Love it. So what are you getting involved in right now? You're doing you said you're doing big things with the college basketball, right?
That's exactly correct, right? Yeah, just I've had a really good. You had a couple of off days recently. I'm 100% honest on that stuff. But for the season, the monitors I'm at, basically, I'm anywhere from 8 to 10 in terms of the rankings. And among the different things I like to look at is to find weaknesses in lines. Now, anybody can look at a Duke and any of the top teams and say, find games, and not to say that there isn't, but it's tougher to win in those situations because that's where the odds makers are spending their time. But on a Saturday, for example, and I do this, there can be anywhere from 100 to 120 games, and I go through all of them. Okay, and it's just kind of what I do. I like to do it, and so when I going through all those cards. There's no way an odds maker is going to be able to set a right number on each one. So especially there's certain things that you can find value in. And, what I brought for you guys, I brought a couple of teams that, I think your listeners might find of interest. So however you want to handle it from there, I can ring some things up here for you.
Oh, you got the floor, my man. You're speaking everybody's language here because, everybody likes getting involved with those, the smaller schools sometimes. You know what I mean? And, I agree with you 100% that sometimes the lines get a little neglected from the sports, sports books. What's the word I'm looking for? Their efforts. You know what I mean? They're focusing on where the money's coming in, and all of a sudden they get blindsided by a $500,000 bet on one of these, one of the junkie teams out there. You know what I mean? So what you got going on?
well, for example, one of my favorites. In fact, I was on a Yahoo Sports Radio podcast last week talking about this. Is UC Davis? Okay, and they're 14-4 against the spread, and their coach is Jim Les. And actually, as it turns out, I'm good friends with his brother, his older brother. And Jim Les, this goes back a few years, there was Hershey Hawkins, who played at Bradley, and he played with Jim Les, and they both ended up in the NBA. And Jim Les actually, I believe 2 years, was the leading three-point shooter by percentage. Well, after he finished up his career and did some things, he got into coaching, and he actually went back to his alma mater, Bradley, and had some success there, and then out. So went back to California where he had lived quite a bit of his life up to that point and hooked up with UC Davis. And now this team, they're in the Big West. Not everybody's going to be familiar with this, but they would like to know, 14-4 against the spread. And the most interesting aspect of their team, besides the great spread record, is they're the number one three-point shooting team in the country. Okay? So, when things get tight with them, they have a variety of shooters, okay, that can drain the three-pointer at better than 45% a game. So that makes them really a very difficult team to match up with. And obviously, the odds makers have not caught up with them either.
Wow, interesting. I don't have a line for the game tonight. Do you have any kind of immediate lines?
They're going to play Thursday again. Is when they'll play. Yep. So that's when to look for them. So yeah. So there's one of the teams that's out there.
All right, good. So UC Davis is on your radar, taking a look at them. The next game they got coming up, they're going to be playing Thursday. They're going to be playing Fullerton State at 10 o'clock.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and so for those of you that have the East Coast bias, and I'm talking about you guys, No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely.
No, it's just, I mean, not everybody's going to stay up, and and their games aren't often televised. They're occasionally on, ESPN3, and I know they're on the Fox app. They were this past Saturday then too. So but they're certainly worth checking out, and certainly worth looking at, to consider to bet on.
All right, cool. What other teams are in your radar that we can keep an eye on? I know.
Sure.
I've been focusing. I mean, I'm an East Coast guy, and Yale is right down the street from me, and I've had a lot of success with them. Have you looked into Yale?
Yeah, I have. Actually, I just played them last Friday. Offhand, at the top of my head, I forget who they played, but I know they won 81-66 as 7.5-point favorites.
Yeah, they beat Dartmouth.
Dartmouth, that's what it was. Right? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, definitely on my radar, and I actually believe that they're the best team in the Ivy League this year. I mean, just from an overall talent standpoint, I know Harvard gets more of the press on a little bit, but I think their team is actually down a little bit this year with Tommy Amaker, and I think Yale definitely. I think ultimately they'll end up winning the Ivy League, and they should get the bid to go into the NCAA tournament.
Oh my God, that'd be so great. And I mean, they just lost to Harvard, which was a heartbreaker. They lost by 2 points. But,
right.
Harvard just seems to have, Harvard has like a magic team. I mean, last year in the tournament, they, I had them at, I want to say it was like 1,000-1. And I got so excited because I think they won 2 games. And I was like, whoa. I said, man. Yeah.
And to your point, I think this is important. This is a very important thing about handicapping in general, and this is, I think, probably what happened on. I don't know if you watched the game or saw the game, is that you as these teams come up and you have an established team like Harvard has been the last several years. There's the difference of knowing that you're going to win and wanting to win, and I think that's what it comes down to in those type of games when things are difficult and tight and such, and Harvard. And, they believe they're going to win based on their history, where Yale is still on the rise and in that exact situation. Not that Yale hasn't won and can't win, but, just a little more difficult situation for them.
Sure. I agree with you. I agree. And the football program also did the same thing. So, big ups to them for that.
Exactly.
So what else, what other teams have you got on your radar?
Another one is I'm going to go to the Horizon League in the Midwest, and the Oakland University, the Golden Griffins, is the team. And Greg Campy has been their coach for a number of years, and one of the things that they have always been known for is being a higher scoring team, and traditionally they're among the highest scoring teams in the country. Now this year, for whatever reason, they're down, don't have quite the shooters that they have in the past, and their actual overall record is only 12-13. But here's where things change up a little bit, is that they're 16-6-1 against the spread. And one of the things that they did, why their record is so poor, are you ready for this? In December, this was their road trip, okay? They went to Michigan State, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Clemson, and Maryland in a row.
Wow.
I'd like to hear any team do that, right? I mean, and
tough.
try and come away unscathed. So, but what this did, and this is what he likes to do, it helps prepare him for conference play. And even though the conference competition is certainly going to be weaker, it helps prepare them. And I think this is where they come on. And so now they have the confidence that they know that some of those teams they competed with, some of them they got blown out by, but this gave them the confidence to go into the league. And in terms of how they're playing, now they're racking up victories. I think they're 7-3. But again, particularly from what we're concerned about, they're beating the spread on a consistent basis, both as a home favorite and, as a home team and as an underdog.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, they had in the last 8 games, they're 7-1,
Exactly.
and they won against the spread every single game. Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
There's another one that's getting it done.
You caught my attention there. So we just got to hope that the bookmakers don't catch up to this. You know what I mean?
To some degree, they'll certainly try, and in some cases they will, but I think it's just more of a matter in a lot of cases of the teams just to keep performing at the same level. And, again, as we said at the top of the show here, is that, the bookmakers are still going to focus more of their attention on what's to them most important and their ability to make the money on the bigger games. And sure, they can maybe take a few hits here and there, but by and large, those casinos and offshore books, to my knowledge, most of them still aren't going out of business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Doug, are you on Twitter?
Yes, I am.
You are.
It's
all right.
At Vegas Pro Insider.
At Vegas Pro Insider. All right, guys, because what we do is we go, we're live on Twitter right now, and I got a lot of the fans and friends showing you love and stuff like that. So I'd like to, put your name out there a few times today and
sure.
let people follow you on Twitter for sure.
Absolutely, perfect.
All right, great. So what do you got tonight? You got any good plays you could share with the audience?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, most of the time, because I do, as I mentioned, I do a lot of writing, and so most of my mornings are included in the writing, and then I do all of my handicapping in the afternoon. Now, specifically for tonight, I'm trying to think of, there was one game that I was considering here. I just got to, let me just pull it up here. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
I apologize for this, but there was one game that caught my eye. One other thing I would like to mention while I'm looking this up is another thing that comes into play here is totals. Okay, and not everybody follows a totals action, but if you're looking for overs, here's 4 teams to consider for totals. They're all 80% or higher, and that's the Citadel, Richmond, Sanford, and UW Green Bay. Okay, those are all teams that definitely I would consider to look at. One game, though, that definitely has my attention tonight, I'll be making a final judgment on it later, is Georgetown and Seton Hall. Georgetown has been up and down, okay, all year long. Sometimes they play well, sometimes they don't. And how their season, this has become a track record with this team, with John Thompson III, is that what happens is they'll put together a streak. They'll get people excited about how they're going to play, how they're going to look, and all of a sudden, then they'll just fall off for the next 3 or 4, maybe 5 games,
yep.
And they're bet against material. This past week, against Villanova, they'd struggled a couple of games, and essentially they were blown out right from the beginning against Villanova on the road. And I'm not sure that's going to, turn in their favor here. Now, Seton Hall hasn't been they're not exactly the best team to follow either in terms of consistency. But I think in this particular case, I think they got better guards, and I think they'll be able to take the ball inside and score. And so I'm looking at the last line I see here is that they're -1. I'll take Seton Hall at home -1 against Georgetown tonight.
I'll tell you, the Georgetown team and the Seton Hall team, if there were any 2 teams that looked identical to me, they are the 2. They are like to me, they're identical teams. Very Jekyll and Hyde, and very not knowing exactly what you're going to get from them. However, I did know they were going to get beat by Villanova. It was more of a revenge factor game, especially for Villanova, because they the way that they had played Villanova the first time they played. This particular game, no. I just don't trust Seton Hall in this spot. I really don't. For some reason, Georgetown, they lose just enough, and then they get that road game, and they show up. And this spot right here, not to contradict anything you said, because you're right on target with most of it, but this is that one game that you see Georgetown, and they end up coming in here, showing up. For some reason, they seem to play a lot better on the road as well. I think they come up, and I think they get this one won today, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that they can't win it. Here's the thing, though, that I consider about Georgetown. As a road underdog, and again, we're only talking about a point here, but as a road underdog, the last 2 years, 2-11 against the spread.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow, okay. All right, so that...
Yeah. So, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that that's just something that's out there, and,
right.
they have not been consistent in that role. That's my concern.
Yeah. But I think when you say that the spread, I mean, the spreads have been probably a little bit heavy on them as far as, they're traveling. In this particular situation, you got a light one. And they're in a bad need for a win right now. And it seems like every part of this season, right when they feel like they're going to fall off the map into oblivion, they get that win. And it has seemed to come for them on the road. I do agree with you about Seton Hall's guard play. They got good guards. And I've been saying all season that good guards seem to predicate success in the NCAA. But I don't know, man. For some reason, I just feel like Georgetown is going to get this game tonight. I don't know what it is, but I just got that feeling like they're going to get this game. So, hey, we'll keep an eye on it.
Exactly, and that's the point. So all the listeners here they can listen to it. They can say, "Hey, Doug might have a point here," or could say the Dream might have a point. And so somebody's gonna get it right. Okay,
someone's
cool
gonna get it right.
Yeah, definitely.
And I used up most of my luck the last 2 days, so you're probably right on target, Doug.
Definitely, yeah, because it's been one for the record books with with the Dream the last few days, so it's bound to turn at some point here. So Doug, you know what? Hey, you know what? That game, that type of game there, I'm gonna just sit back and watch and root for you. But and I hope you hit it, brother.
Well, hey, all we could do is try. Anybody that tells you there's locks and any of that type of stuff, it's just ridiculous. And anything in any situation can certainly turn, literally on a dime in terms of how games play out. And so, you can have all the right information, you can be right spot on, but then it happens in a game and it changes the whole outcome. And, you could be on the right side, you just get the wrong outcome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they're humans. We're betting on humans and we're betting on kids.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, like you said, all the statistics, sometimes you could just throw them right out the window, man.
It certainly happens.
Yeah, definitely. So this is Doug Upstone. You are Vegas Pro. What is this? I'm sorry, Vegas Pro.
Yeah, ProInsidersDaily.com.
And at Vegas Pro Insider on Twitter, guys. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put his handle out there so you guys can follow my man here, because your knowledge is strong and a lot of people are really feeling you right now, Doug. I really appreciate this.
Excellent. Glad to hear, and I'm glad to help anybody to any of the listeners, and make sure to tell Dan when you see him this weekend, because I will definitely. I've been doing this last couple of years, living in the Phoenix area. I got 15 of the baseball teams in the area, so all of spring training, I'm all over all of these teams. Okay, going to different games, writing articles, doing videos and stuff like that for people, and so I know he'll be definitely interested to know some of the things that I'll have picked up on. In terms of the baseball side of things.
That is so awesome. That's what this is all about. The SBTV Nation, we've all basically banded together with the one common goal in mind, and that's to beat the books. And we're all comparing notes here, and it's been awesome. And we're happy to have you a part of it.
My pleasure. Hey, it's been great. And also, don't forget, speaking of different listeners, I had a tough loss last night. An overtime loss with Chicago and in Arizona last night. But still, for the season, I'm 37-13 in hockey. I do it a little different way. I'm a system player only on hockey. I developed a system 3 years ago. I've number one at several different monitors in terms of win percentage, and I still think I'm going to be number one even with the loss last night. Something certainly to follow with me on that as well.
Wow, Dream, you speaking your language there, brother.
I know. Any early leans on the hockey today, brother?
There's nothing. You know what? No, there wasn't. I looked at it last night. There wasn't anything that stood out for me, and that's one of the things that I'm really good at with hockey, and is the discipline. Sometimes some of the other sports with more games, it doesn't always work out that way. But since I developed the system, I just stick with it hard, and basically what I do, I either play on good teams or against bad teams. But the numbers still have to equate. And what I try to come up with is how with my math is that the team either side, the difference has to be at least 1.4 goals, okay? And that's before I would even consider it as a play.
Wow.
So that's my methodology in terms of how I do it.
That system is almost right on target with me, and as a quick look, I'll just throw out real quick, you might want to check it out later. Maybe you could DM me later what you thought, but I can tell you right now, I'm already foaming at the mouth looking at this Islander-Oiler game tonight.
Yeah, okay, that's a good choice. Edmonton consistently has been one of the top play against teams, no question about it.
No doubt. So you definitely speak my language with that. That is the formula that I kind of use myself to an extent. I'm adjusting it as I went through. I was going through a nice little stretch, and then I would say the last week and a half, about maybe a week and a half ago, I went through a little bad patch for a minute where I just couldn't catch a win. That Coyote team has been pesty to say. I know they got you. Said they got you last week. That team has already got me like 4 times this season. I don't know what's up with them. I thought it was me, but now I hear it's you too. So hey, and you're out there in Phoenix.
Exactly. No, I mean they're not a good hockey team, and and the thing that occurs, and it's been because I actually developed a system like 5 years ago, but then I kept running into stretches like you're talking about, so it just eroded my confidence a little bit on it. So I kind of let it sit for a while, and then I went back and tweaked it, and have had a lot of success. But just same thing though, I agree with you. Of late, some of these favorites that look like they should roll, they're just, they're not getting it done. And then the worst part is that they end up losing in overtime,
Right.
So that's what really hurts.
Oh,
yeah. The shootout. And those are games in the past that probably would have ended in ties for them. So, that's something, that's an interesting concept to look at because I didn't really think about it, how it's been ending in the shootout situation. I actually, I have tend to like when the favorite team or the stronger home team gets into the shootout situation, but I haven't actually tracked, and I don't know if you have, home team versus away team in shootout, who's winning more. I guess that's something that maybe I should start taking a little deeper of a look at as far as how the shootouts are turning out, as you're seeing a lot of these come into that at this point in the season for some reason.
Yeah. The other thing that comes to play here is that the point is correct. Now, it's not necessarily home or away, but
okay.
The better team, and this has been the track record, and because it's well over 60. I think it's actually a little over 65% or approaching 70% of when you go to shootout, the better team wins. Okay. And that makes sense when you consider now when you're lining up. If you take the three best scores potentially on either team,
right?
Is that when you do that? Well, if the better team has better players, hence the point, they should have a better chance to score in a shootout as opposed to their opponent, which still has good players. I'm not saying that, but they're just not as good. So that's
right.
Why the track record in shootouts in particular tends to be good, and also in overtime when you're going 4-on-4, because now you're able to put essentially your four with more open ice, which enables you to score more easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
I'm agreement. I like the overtime with the 4-on-4. I think there's a distinct advantage. But for some reason, it seems like with the shootout, and I mean, nothing's more evident than last night against the Blackhawks, in the shootout, I don't know. If for some reason it seems like it's almost even in the shootout situations. I mean, I guess, what needs to be taken into consideration also is the goalies that are in net as well. But it's something that, it's not something that I've been tracking, but just, as we're talking about it, I'm going through my head and I'm remembering some of my losses and remembering some of the shootout situations. In my mind, I'm feeling like it's almost like 50-50. With, you know what I'm saying? With the better team as far as which team's winning. And I agree with you, distinct advantage in the regular overtime. But as far as the shootout, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and take a look at that. As we're talking about it, it's definitely something that I should be tracking, especially if I'm wagering on hockey. And why I'm not, no idea.
No, but again, we're not talking about night and day here. The advantage could be quite literally as slim as 52-53% versus 47-48. They do have an inherent advantage just because of the talent level. That doesn't mean that the guy's going to put the puck in the net or that the goalie can't make a fantastic save. So I mean, those are all things that are out there too. Absolutely.
And sometimes the lineup in the shootout gets a little bizarre because I was watching the Islanders, I want to say 3 nights ago, and you think they would open up with Tavares as the first guy out of the gate for the shootout. He was like 4th in the pecking order.
Okay, yeah. Coaches have their reasons for that, and I follow and do all the things with hockey. But in terms of the particulars with the coaches, I'll be 100% honest. I don't go into that depth with it because obviously when you're looking at all the different especially this time of year, all the different college basketball games and even the NBA, it's no matter what, it's impossible to know everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
and I know I got some of my listeners are on the floor right now because they can't believe that I'm talking hockey like this. Because they're like, yo, this dude, my listeners think I'm just a clown most of the time because I am the rodeo clown of the program, but they don't know how real vested I am in my sports, and they probably are a little floored with my hockey knowledge because I know generally when you see a young brother like me, you don't expect me to be that deeply rooted in hockey.
I'm glad I could be the person to help bring it out of you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. Hey, guys, this is my man Doug Upstone rocking the airwaves today with us at Vegas Pro Insider on Twitter. And hey, Doug, you know what? The time has just flown by with you, man. I mean, I knew you would be a stellar guest. That's why I made sure my girl got a hold of you and got you on the show. We're going to definitely get you back. And
no, I'd love to get you back. Yeah, I love the information. I love the presentation. I love everything about it. The phone line's clear as well, which is always a big additive. And your stuff's been stellar. I mean, your first 10 minutes on the show, I don't think I said 2 words, and that's usually evident that the guest is off the hook when I'm not talking.
Well, believe me, gentlemen, I more than anybody appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. You guys do a fantastic job, and I know that each and every week you're growing leaps and bounds. So I mean, and I know you're going to be out in Vegas, and I would love to be out there to see you guys. Except, as I said, I'll be doing the spring training thing along with the tournament, so I'm going to unfortunately probably have to miss that. If there's some way I could sneak in, to get there even for an hour or two, I'd love to. So I'm going to definitely give my best shot. But otherwise, continued success to you. You guys are the best. And hey, let's just keep making money and trying to make this all work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Doug. And just plug your website one more time, please.
Sure, absolutely. Doug Upstone at VegasProInsidersDaily.com. Check it out. There's free picks every day, at least 4, plus other top information.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug.
Doug, thank you so much for coming on, man. Love talking to you. We're going to keep an eye on that Seton Hall, Georgetown tonight.
There we go.
Should be an interesting game. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
All right. Wow, Dream. He was. I knew he would be dope. I know he would be
very
awesome.
good.
You know what I mean? So we gotta take a look at. I think we have to look at some college basketball for ourselves real quick and get into the. To the ice. Speaking of the ice, you want to continue with the ice while we're doing that?
The ice right now, real quickly, for me, I'm looking at Strong Island. As you guys know, I'm real vested in them. That's my squad. We'll take a look at them tonight. I'll have to get back to you guys because I don't have nothing prepared. So this is just an early morning lean. But I do like the Islanders tonight in this situation. I also am ready to get on fade in the Maple Leafs because you got the Rangers going into there. For a fade, but you know what might be better in that Rangers-Maple Leafs game? The under may be the play as well. As you guys know, I'm just starting to dabble with the totals in hockey on these games that I don't really like. The other game would note that you might want to get involved with the over would be that Lightning Predator game, as both teams can score. So you might want to get involved with the over there. Guys, these are early morning leans. I need to go do some work, and I'll get back to you to figure out how I'm going to put this together. And lastly, Arizona last night, beat Chicago, late night game, okay? Then hop right on the bus or the plane or whatever and go to Minnesota, all right, to play the Blues today. I hate betting against this team because they keep getting me. But, sometimes gambling's all about being stubborn, and I like the Blues in this spot to beat this Coyote team. So, as of right now, we're looking at my number one would be definitely I'm loving the Islanders. That would be my heavy lean there. Looking at the under in the Maple Leaf Rangers game. Looking at the over in the Lightning Predator game, and looking at the Blues. Actually, I like the Blues second. So it'd probably be Islanders, Blues, and then the totals on the other 2 games. But definitely check out the First Lady of the Fake Fam. I already told you guys my hockey's good. Her hockey's great, okay? So check her out. Do a collabo with the 2 of us, and I may end up hitting her up for a little advice because I do hit her up from time to time, ask her thoughts on certain situations, and then I do my thing as well as I have my confidence back vested in hockey. I feel like I got a different type of feel for it. I'll put something out hopefully around 6, if I'm getting down, so you guys could look out for that. Probably won't DM you guys. I don't see nothing I love, so just look for just the general tweet. The only time you guys get my DMs, if it is something I love, like the Spurs yesterday, I loved it, didn't think it could go wrong, so you caught DMs. Other than that, I just put the other stuff, I'll just tweet it out there. That means I like it or I'm leaning on it, but I ain't loving it.
All right, and speaking of Thursday, speaking of hockey, we got our boy John Anthony coming back on Thursday, dude. So he's also one of the guys, the living the dream cap guy.
Living the dream,
yep.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's the bomb. So he's going to be coming on Thursday as well. And, so we got him. We got Mr. Upstone now. We got you. We got the First Lady of Fake Fan. We got the Hockey Immortal. We got Total Sports Edge. We got the team is just growing, kid. What? Doubt. Putting all these minds together and figuring it all out, I think is going to be the bomb, dude. And as the years go on, we're going to get stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger. And you know what? God help the books. That's all I got to say about that.
Hey, guys, real quick, to talk on his Seton Hall game, and it's funny you mentioned that game because I was looking at it. You guys might want to go out and do a little work as far as your own capping is concerned, or taking a look at the stats and the situations. It's a funny game. I actually probably, after hearing him talk, I'm probably going to stay away from it. So I hope I didn't sway anybody, thinking I'm going to roll with the Dream and roll with Georgetown. Make sure you like it yourself. Like I always preach that, but I'm just saying it even more because, he may be right on point better than myself. I've been watching this Georgetown team a little bit. I've been watching them for most of the season. And for some reason, this is one of those spots that they just show up and win a game. And I may stay away from it, as I said, because he gave it out, so I may stay away and watch and try to see what's up, because I like to respect anybody that comes on and is as knowledgeable as him, and you can hear it in his language, and he's also got the stats and the backing and the resume to prove it. So it behooves you to take it with a grain of salt. I could care less if if it's a play I don't put in and I don't lose no money. Hey, whatever. Yeah, I didn't win none, I didn't lose none, but I'm good with that. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So if you don't like it, don't get involved with it. Let's watch it. And, it ain't about me versus him. And I told you guys, it's never about me versus anybody but the book. That's the only person I'm versus. That's the only person I want to beat.
Hey, you know what? Big shout out to Hash Off Vegas for hitting me up and saying, because we use the hashtag Vegas in our description of the Daily Show today, we are #1 trending in hashtag Vegas right now. So big ups to the entire SBTV Nation for helping us make that happen. Thank you guys very much.
By the way, Vegas is aware of us because Costa Rica just sent me my plane tickets. They're like, yo, take your ass to Vegas.
Oh, wow.
My offshore book just gave me a free trip to Vegas. Take your ass to Vegas because you killing us.
Oh, man. Definitely. Guys, I'm looking at the college basketball slate tonight. We've got we got Killer Cal in Kentucky playing tonight. Just so you know.
Don't bet against Kentucky. Stop it.
Yeah, they're playing at LSU. Kentucky is a -10 to 10.5 point favorite. Dude, I don't know, man. You know what? That
just money line them and go to bed.
I don't even know.
Kentucky and go to bed.
Dream, I hate money lining teams on the road that much, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's Kentucky.
I know it's Kentucky, but
it's like the '89 Lakers, dude. All right, it's Kentucky. They're like so much. Listen, you guys, please listen to me. This one thing I just want to explain to you. This team is so much better than every team in the NCAA right now. They are leaps and bounds, and they haven't even, they haven't even really figured out how good they are still. But it's like 3 7-foot guys down there, all right, with a pro point guard running around. I mean, and they got an off-the-hook coach. Then they send a couple of 6'11" guys to you off the bench. Dude, they deep, they stack. When they put their mind together and they act right, I'm just telling you, they're going to go undefeated. They're not going to get beat, and I really should just put the wager in, and I've been procrastinating. LSU is not beating Kentucky.
Okay. All right. You got Miami. I maybe get involved in this one. Miami of Ohio at Eastern Mich. I like this Eastern Michigan team. I may mess with that. I'll take a look at it and get back to you guys later on. I got a very busy day of work, so my homework is not going to be till probably an hour before game time, I'll be honest with you. But taking a look at this, that Oakland team that Doug was referring to is playing tonight. They're playing at Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Oakland is -2 with an under-over of 145. You've got a bunch of junky delights here. You got Ball State, Northern Illini. You've got Iona Fairfield. You've got Arkansas, Auburn. Let
me chime in real quick with one. Guys, this Toledo team, they're playing Buffalo on the road. I told you before, I've seen this team play. I've been keeping a little small eye on them this season. They've been a formidable team. I really don't know much about Buffalo, but I know Toledo's good, as they should have beat VCU earlier in the season, which isn't really saying a whole lot because VCU I still think is way overrated and living off of some of their past stuff. But you might want to get involved with that Toledo team. I'm not plugging it, but I'm just telling you to keep an eye on it. I know my man Papa Smurf is talking about Clemson beating Notre Dame today. And it's not, he didn't give it out, and he says he's going to get back to you guys later with that. So you might want to keep note of that as well.
All right, I'm taking a look at it. You've got Fresno State, UNLV tonight. You got New Mexico, Colorado State. 8 to 8.5 there. You got Wisconsin playing at Nebraska. And I got to be honest with you, this Nebraska team stinks. So you know what? I think my man Kaminsky is going to, do some dancing around the free throw line rather than going up in the hole. And I think they'll get the job done and win the game. I don't know about giving 9 though.
You know what's a stupid comment that I'm about to make with this game?
No comment stupid right now.
This is going to be stupid. I know I'm going to end up regretting this later, but for some reason, this game is just rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know why. Maybe because it looks just too easy. I don't know why, but for some reason, this game just rubs me the wrong way. I could just see Wisconsin coming in there, not having a very good night. I'm not going to say they're going to lose. I'm not going to say that, but I think this game might be a little bit more competitive than we think it's going to be. I don't know why. Just for some reason, it's got that look to it. You know what I mean?
Michigan State is not all that. However, they went into Nebraska, and Nebraska just showed up and looked like a superstar team against Michigan State. So, you know what? They do have it in them. It's just, every time I seem to watch them or bet them, they just get smoked. So, you know what? I feel equivalent to Nebraska that I do with the Bulls, to be honest with you. So
I'm not obviously not telling no one to take Nebraska under no circumstances. I'm just kind of telling you guys, maybe stay away from this game. Some of the guys who at first sight probably saw it like, I'm gonna go cover in Wisconsin tonight. And just ease back off of that a little bit. You might want to give it a little bit of a watch. On the other side, we have Xavier going up against Marquette. These teams also remind me of each other quite a bit. I like the X-Men, man. I've always liked them. They play pretty well on the road as well. I like the X-Men to go into Marquette and get it done tonight. You got a relatively low line. It's a 9 o'clock start, so we'll at least get a chance to get involved in a couple other things. Also, Texas Tech is playing Kansas. Kansas is coming off that loss over the weekend. I thought Kansas had gotten it together and turned it around. Kansas does need to show up tonight and get a win to keep their momentum going and get back to their winning ways. So I'm looking at Kansas tonight to beat Texas Tech. You obviously got to get rid of those 12 points if you're dealing with that. You guys might want to get involved with that. I will give you guys something, I think, around 6-ish. I should have something for you. The college isn't going off until 9, so maybe we'll look at, maybe some of the early hockey. Or I don't think I'm doing any NBA tonight. It's probably going to be college hoop and maybe hockey. If anything, because there's a good possibility I may do a little watching tonight, as there looks to be some competitive games on tap.
Yeah, definitely. Not. You know what? Hey.
And y'all know I've been on fire anyway. All of my mates, I don't got to play tonight.
You know what? I agree with you, dude. You know what? There's no reason to play 7 days a week.
No kidding. Don't be pushing me up against the wall.
Guys, listen, you know what? I mean, we do have jobs and families and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, there got to be some nights where you got to just sit back and pop a little bottle open with of wine with the lady and sit back and maybe watch a little, little TV with her or something. You know what I mean? I
told you I'm a spot better and I pick my spots. Believe it or not, this is more gambling than I have done in a long time with football ending. As far as just being involved with this hockey, NBA, and college hoop, I don't usually go like this, to be honest with you.
Well, I got news for you. I mean, it's college basketball, so I'm gambling a lot more than I am, that I've usually done. But come baseball season, dude.
You love college basketball.
I do. I'm a big college basketball guy.
College hoop. I remember a couple. Hatter, y'all don't even know. Hatter was a college hoop junkie, and I used to tell him, dude, chill with the college hoop. And he was betting like every night, and I was like, dude, you gonna get killed. You gotta stop that stuff. Yeah, and me, I don't usually get down like this, but I've been betting, man. You guys got, part of this show is, addicting to me too. I got that obsessive compulsive personality, just like the rest of you addicts out there, and this show is enticing me. So even if I do bet, remember I do keep the numbers relatively low with the exception of last night, which I did get heavy, but be careful, guys. There's no need to be going every night all the time.
I agree with you. I mean, and big ups to my man Randy Lockhart out there for absolutely tearing it up with his hockey progression. So take a look at that too, guys. He's also another good hockey guy out there. Happy hockey guy.
Yeah, no doubt. If you guys can't get the live though, you can't do those. So you gotta have a live. A live line, so make sure you check out our website because there are some if you're going to need those live lines if you want to get down with the hockey progressions.
Absolutely. And there's some sites that are way better than others with live lines. Some of them you got to refresh them, and there's other ones, guys, that we mess with that refresh every 3 seconds on their own, dude. So you know what? You really got to take a look at that. If you want to bet, live quarters in basketball, it's available. If you want to, do commercial breaks on every single football game, it's crazy what's out there. So you really got to pay attention to it.
I hate to jerk any site, but that one that I use stinks live.
Yeah, they got good teasers. They got good teasers and moneyline parlays, but the live stuff you can forget it with them.
They stink live, and I told them about it, and they stink live. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm borderline off telling y'all something about them, but I'm gonna try to work with them for a minute.
All right, dude, we gotta close this thing out, my brother.
Doubt.
So let's do it, man. What you got to shout out? I know we got, dude, so many people to shout out. Damn, it's crazy.
Back and forth. We got them kicking it. We got them retweeting. We got them talking. We got the whole world on fire, player. You know how we do. We started this thing in a basement, kicking it, just two dudes that were cool with each other, talking about our dream years ago. My man had to sold my house. You know what I'm saying? And from there, we just hung out a lot, won a whole bunch of games, lost a whole bunch of money too, had a whole lot of fun, and now look at what we're doing now. We won't ever be stopped because we can't be stopped, and the attitude is always positive, so you cannot go wrong when you're putting out a positive product to the people. As always, guys, gamble responsibly. I like to say big ups to my main Damon Dazenberg, Emerson, Joey Buckets, The Kid, Handicapping Sports, my boy James, Premier Sports Company. I see you out there. Jeff the Hat, what's happening, player? Philly Picks, Crush the Bookie, Shady Cave, in Vegas, OJFB, my boy Rich Z, Fred Courier, Betting Dream, Jipper82, Winning Picks, Ben, Dollar Sign, Tony Enab, Dave Wood, Hockey Immortal, Alex Washington, Vegas Girl 92661, Smokey Rodriguez, Mo, Nicholas J, Shane Redinius, Irvin, my boy Gamblers Bet is out there, the MOB, what's happening, Playboy, BK's out there, Sir Mata as well, Unit Maker, Stiffmeister is out there, Tadeo, my boy, what's going on, player, Jay Cass is there, Almighty Kev, Sin City Maverick, Vince Parker, Yado, Billy Sharp, Wicked Oz, the Queen of Oz, APB, Hingle McCringleberry, Spot Bet, Godfather 0272, Papa Bear, Chris Sizzle, my girl Jet, Saturn Sports Wagers, Lottie Dottie, Eastern Nation, Big Splee, Scott Weaver, the First Lady of the Fake Fam, and so many more. I want to thank you guys all. I am the Dream. Thank you for your continued support. Make the most of each and every day because you never can get this time back. And always remember, who you with?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got Michael Lee. I got Scotty King. I got Dr. J, Indiana Eric, Sleepy J at pregame, Philly Picks, Doc. What's up, Doc? Thank you very much. We appreciate all your support as always, brother. Andy Mack, The Cheese, Marlon, Adrian Figura. I think I pronounced that right. Sorry if I butchered your name, player, but welcome to the party. I got James Harrelson, Soccer Nation, Maddie Fresh, Alex Washington, Armin De Niro, Steve, Non-Stop Sports Picks, Marco Spagnolo.
Let me chime in 1 minute. Sorry about that. I forgot. You guys, if you guys are interested in soccer, not my stuff, but I was giving it to a couple people, you may be interested in getting down with the Liverpool over 2.5 goals and Arsenal -1.5 and over 3. Liverpool over 2.5. Arsenal -1.5 over 3. If you're interested in soccer, hey, if that means something to the soccer players, just putting it out there for you.
All right. Is that your plays or somebody else's?
No. Somebody, I was giving that. My man Rich Z gave me the Liverpool. My man MOB gave me the Arsenal.
All right, cool. We got Jehovah. We got Immaculate, C. Rodriguez Jr., OJFB, Hingle, McCrignal-Berry, Jake Harberts. Welcome to the family, bro. We appreciate it. Welcome all you new people with open arms, and big shout out to my man Doug Upstone at Vegas Pro Insiders. Rocking and rolling, guys. What a show. Unbelievable. Today is Tuesday, and we are looking forward to having a great week. We may play today, we may not. We don't know yet. But you know what? If we are, we sure will be putting it all over Twitter. I can tell you that much. Guys, we are the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV and SportsBettorsTV.com. We're invading March 20th through the 22nd. Next month, we're invading the Las Vegas MGM Grand Casino. We love you to death. Go out there and get that money. Take care.